I'm an employment analyst with the Veterans Career Program at the Paralyzed Veterans of America, and today I wanted to give you a crash course on the military to civilian transition and how to conquer your next career. On today's agenda, I have 5 main topics that I wanted to talk about. The first one is identifying your transferable military skills. The second is when to start the transition. The third, utilizing your resources. Number 4, finding your passion. And the last one is switching career fields. So first, you want to identify your transferable military skills. So everyone in the military, has picked up skills that they can use in their civilian job search, and that is going to relate to, civilian job titles and civilian career paths. So from the years of working with, transitioning service members, there are, certain skills that I have found that more transitioning service members have more often than not. The first one is project management. So think about a time in the military where you have had to manage a project or help manage a project. What did that look like? And, what did you accomplish? What was the goal? Think about a time also whenever you conducted operations, right? So another really strong skill, operations management. This can involve leading a team to accomplish a goal, following through with standard operating procedures, anything like that it kind of encompasses operations. That can be added to your, transferable military skills. The next one is risk assessment. And so think about in the military when you've had to assess risk, right? Whether it is, clearing a path for convoys to, move down a road, mapping out a good route for that. That could be something with IT, the database, looking for breaches. Really, there is a lot of skills within the military that encompasses risk. Additionally, process improvement. So think about a time in the military when there was a process that just wasn't working out for your team or your unit. What was that process? And then what did you specifically do to ensure that process worked better so that the goal was achieved, right? Last one, quality assurance. So quality assurance is huge. I know that a lot of, service members go through inspections or they have to make sure their equipment, their gear, their vehicles is all up to standard before they can utilize those resources, right? So, when have you ever had to conduct a quality assessment on something? And what did that look like? What were you conducting, the quality assessment on? How much did it cost? How many pieces of equipment were there? So putting that into tangible results. There is also an MOS translator if you're having a little trouble translating your military job title to a civilian on jobs.pva.org. And the main thing here that I want you to take away is do not undermine your experience based off of your military job title. Within each job title, I have found almost all of the skills that I listed off to exist. So just really think about, what it is you did day to day, what big projects you worked on, and things like that to kind of gather some of these transferable military skills. Okay, so I often get the question, when do I start the transition? When is the ideal time? And my, answer is as soon as you decide to get out, you need to start transitioning. That involves networking and building relationships. It involves attending job fairs. Most of them are still kind of virtual right now, but it can be virtual or in person. Building your resume, getting that together, collecting your references. So a lot of jobs will ask for professional references, and if your professional references are still in the military, they may be in an area where they are unreachable, whether they are on a deployment or they are OCONA stationed. So collect your references before you get out of the military, just so you have those and you're not trying to go back as a civilian and find, those people to contact. I would also suggest start conducting mock interviews. This is huge, being able to speak to someone about your skills, see what they think. I would also say, Conduct mock interviews with a civilian that may not know military terminology, because they will tell you, I don't understand what you're talking about, or I don't understand what this acronym is. And then you can really go back and, look at how you're describing things and make it more civilianized for civilian recruiters. I would also suggest joining veteran networking groups. These are huge to make connections, and a lot of veterans love to refer other veterans and military spouses as well to their companies. So just joining veteran networking groups, getting to know, those who have already transitioned and how they can kind of, help you plug into maybe their company. I would also create a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is a huge networking database. It also has a very large job board. So LinkedIn is great for, getting to know other people, but also doing research on companies, different jobs, and, looking at what these job qualifications are, and what companies are hiring for what positions. And lastly, researching company and jobs. So conducting mock interviews with people that work at a company you want to work at, or are in a job you want to work at, or again, using LinkedIn. So if you started your transition a little late, that's okay. There's always time to catch up. I would say from my experience, working with service members, about a year out is key for, starting the resume and kind of getting the ball rolling on all of this. But like I said, if, you are past a year and you don't have that much time left, that's okay. Just start as soon as you can. I want to talk about, utilizing your resources. So veterans and transitioning service members have quite a bit of resources available to them that they may not know. So it's always a good idea to research what resources are available to you, both in the military and after the military. So for one, tuition assistance, right? So if you're in the military and you want to get a degree before you get out of the military, utilizing tuition assistance, utilizing the GI Bill afterwards, to go back and get a degree after school. There's also SkillBridge opportunities, which allow you to internship at a company before you transition, and hopefully that internship leads to a job. So getting, command approval for a SkillBridge and finding the right one for you. There are also free certifications and trainings. So, there are a few nonprofits that offer free certifications to transitioning veterans, such as PMP, PHR, IT cert. So searching around for those. And then also, while you're in the military, like I've heard of, people attending like OSHA classes while they're in the military. And so if there are free classes and certifications available to you on your installation, I would very much take advantage of those, because you never know how they're going to, have an impact in the civilian world. Like I said, nonprofits. There is a ton of nonprofits for veterans, ranging anywhere from employment, finances, benefits, mentorships, just a ton. And so I would almost, Google like national nonprofits, or, nonprofits in your area, and see what kind of comes up. So if you can work with a nonprofit virtually, awesome. Or if there are some specific to your area, you can always join those as well, depending on what you're looking for. And then also, VA benefits. So if you file a claim, utilizing your VA benefits, and things like that. Some of the national nonprofits that I wanted to recognize, so some of these for employment are, the PVA Veterans Career Program, us with the Paralyzed Veterans of America, the Hire Heroes USA, USO Pathfinders, Wounded Warrior Project, and then there's also a link in here to the SkillBridge programs. So if you go to this link, they have, all of the companies that are registered for SkillBridge, and these are national nonprofits. So like I said, there are a ton of nonprofits that help with a whole, cluster of things that would relate to transitioning. These are just focused on employment. But yes, like I said, research the nonprofits in your specific area, and if you can, work with a transition specialist on base or at one of these companies. I also, want to talk about finding your passion. So, when you get out of the military and you're looking to, start your next career, a lot of times I hear, well, I want to do something I'm passionate about. And so, I would say utilizing certain personality tests, strength finder tests, career aptitude. I would also say informational interviews and networking. So, if there's a job that you think that you are, you may want to have, you could reach out to somebody who has a similar job, or, in a company you may want to work at, and just ask them what it's like, because you might find out like, hey, this sounds awesome, I would love to still do this, or no, maybe that's not for me. So, reaching out to those who have done it before. And then I think this is really important, knowing what you do not like. You may not know what you like, but you probably know what you don't like. And so, weeding out that area is going to be really important in kind of finding your next career and what you're passionate about. Some of the online tests then that I have found, most of these are free. I would go with the free ones first. So there is the Myers-Briggs test, the Keirsey Temperament Sorter, MyPlan.com, Big Five, 16 Personalities, iSeek Clusters, My Next Move, Holland Code Career Test, and PI Behavioral Assessment. So, if there are, free tests out there to kind of help you find your passion or what you're interested in based off of your personality, things like that, it's always good to do some self-exploration. And so some online, tests may be able to help with that as well. One other thing that I want to talk about is switching career fields. So, most often I see that when you're getting out of the military, you may not want to do the same job that you did in the military, and you're going to want to switch career fields. So in doing that, comes with some research and how do I switch career fields, right? So some of the things to think about, look at the job that you would like to have and ask yourself these questions. Do I need a degree? And, do I need experience, or is this an entry-level job? So if you do need experience, you may want to look for those entry-level jobs that don't require very much experience. Or you can also go into like volunteering, right? So volunteering in an area that you want to work at to get some experience. I would also recommend, getting your foot in the door at a company. So let's say that you want to work in IT, but you don't have that much experience. You can always use the experience you do have, get your foot in the door at a company, and then move laterally to the IT department. So, finding a company that has a path to where you want to go, I think is important. And so, so just starting out at a company and then moving laterally, like that's always an option as well. And then definitely finding mentors, right? So like I said, talk to people who have done it before. So some of the mentorship programs are, Veterati, American Corporate Partners, and they will set you up with a mentor in the field that you would like to go into. And you can talk to experts in that field and see how, they did it out of the military, or even what some of their advice is. I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Like I said, my name is Taylor Scott, and I have my contact information on here if you need to get a hold of me, and please tune in to additional sessions. Thank you.
Since 1946, PVA has been the leading advocate for veterans with spinal cord injuries and diseases such as MS and ALS. We help all veterans with disabilities by helping with earned benefits and specialized health care, education and career resources, adaptive sports, housing and legal assistance. Learn more at pva.org.